Okay, good morning. And let's get started the way we always do by just slowing down, sitting in a comfortable seat where your spine can rise and you can root down. Closing your eyes and feeling your breath. Today, I wanted to think about the concept of spanda in yoga. It's this idea that nothing is static. There's a constant pulsation in life, a contraction and an expansion. We're never completely still. The earth is never completely still. And one of the ways that we experience spanda is with the breath, constantly expanding and contracting. But it's a life-giving concept, so it's easy when you focus on the breath to start kind of gasping for air or contracting or tightening your jaw, but it's just going to focus on that easy expansion and contraction. The belly expands, the diaphragm expands, the rib cage expands, and the breath draws in, and then the belly comes in and up, diaphragm comes in and up, and we release. So if you feel your jaw start to harden or your eyes start to harden, just back off the effort until you can feel that gentle pulsation. So now if you could draw your hands in front of your heart, we'll begin with the sound of Om together. Inhale. Om. Bow your head to your heart and lift your eyes, and we can begin. So let's just do some nice shoulder rolls. Inhale up. Let the shoulders slide down the back. Just warming up the shoulders, getting in sync with your breath. Noticing any tight spots, not forcing anything. And then draw the shoulders up, let them slide down your back. Really root through your feet and your sitting bones. Get the head really floating tall up over your spine, and then exhale to one side and inhale back. Exhale to the other side and inhale back. Not forcing, just exploring. Breathing into that joint. They say just even thinking about an area in your body brings some more energy to it, some more blood and juice, synovial fluid. And back to center. And then let's just expand our lungs a little bit. So take your left arm down and inhale the right arm up and root down through your sitting bones in your feet. Stretch to the left and breathe into your right side. Again, a gentle, but it can be big. Gentle expansion and release. No straining, but just opening with your breath. And inhale back up. Then we'll do the other side. So first line up, shoulders up, and let them slide down the back. Inhale the left arm up. Get really tall on both sides, and then exhale. Breathe into that whole side. Just feel your breath. The pulsation, expanding and contracting. Even get a little more expansion on each breath. Inhale back up. And then let's stand up. Bare feet if you can. And we'll start off first in mountain pose, Tadasana. Feet facing forward, the four corners of the feet rooting down, and the arches lifting up, tailbone reaching down, and you can just feel your head floating up above. So this is Spanda. Your feet are rooting down, and you're rooting down and lifting up at the same time. It's this pulsation. And then let's inhale the arms up to the shoulders, elbows out to the side. We're going to inhale, open, exhale, elbows together. And we're opening the heart space, so not sticking out the ribs, but just breathing into your chest, your heart, your sun space. Inhale, open, exhale together. So we root down and expand open. And the last one, let's just hold it open. Feel your feet rooting down. Feel your heart stretching up. Feel your breath expanding and contracting. And release. And then let's warm up our arms and legs a little more. So we're just going to inhale the arms up, exhale back with maybe a little knee bend, maybe a little toe action, tiptoes and back. Inhale, exhale. Just moving with the breath and not forcing. And back to center. And then we can do the chair pose. So line up, shoulders up and back, standing up tall, and root through your feet, especially the heels on this one. Draw your bottom back for the chair that's just out of reach. You take your hands back. Let's inhale up. Exhale down. And then let's hold it and focus on your breath here, as it's a challenging pose. Try to keep your breath open. You can make it more challenging by lifting your arms, if that works, but not if it's at the cost of holding your breath or tightening your jaw. Okay. So let's do our, let's do the, I forgot to do this external rotation. So let's just take your bend your right knee, stand up tall, exhale out, inhale in, exhale, and inhale. And easy, warming up that joint in a slightly different way. And then the left side, you bend the knee, just exhale out, inhale in. And for those of you who remain standing, you'll do this while the people on the floor do the fire hydrant pose. Okay. Okay, so that joint's warmed up. And now we can do the knee to nose pose. So you stand up tall, hang on to something. And if you like doing this on the floor, you can go right down to hands and knees and do it if you want. Exhale in, inhale out. Exhale, and inhale. Exhale. Exhale. Inhale out. And then experiment with lifting the opposite arm. And now you can feel the spanda. You're expanding in, expanding and stretching open, drawing in and stretching open. That pulsation of opposites. And come back to standing. We'll do the other side. I'm gonna exhale in, inhale back, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then hold it back. Get your balance and inhale. Right arm up, left leg back. Rooting down and stretching open, expanding with your breath and contracting with your breath. But every breath might help you get a little taller. And come back to center. Okay. And let's do our sun salutations. So on the mat or at the chair, stand up tall. Inhale the arms up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale, long back. Exhale over. Let's inhale up one more time. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale over. Grab the chair or the floor. If you're on the floor, bend your right knee. Stretch your left leg back into lunge. And isometrically draw your hands and arms back to draw your shoulders onto your back. Stretch out your back leg. Let's take a couple of breaths here. Just feel your breath. And then we're going to step back to downward facing dog. I like to bend the knees, really extend, long back, head between the arms. Inhale forward, up, exhale back to downward facing dog. And let's repeat that. Inhale forward, exhale back. Take the left leg forward into lunge, right leg back. Right leg is really strong. Draw your arms isometrically back so your shoulder blades come onto the back. Long spine. And breathe. And step forward. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. Inhale up. Exhale. Swan dive over. Bend the right knee. Stretch the left leg back into lunge. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back to downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale the left leg forward. Stretch open into your lunge. Step forward. Inhale all the way up. Exhale back. Inhale. Exhale. Next one we'll go over. Bend the right knee. Stretch the left leg back. Stretch open into lunge. Strong legs. Open heart. Step back into downward facing dog. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale back. Left foot forward, right foot back. Stretch into lunge. Back leg is super strong and straight. Step forward. Inhale up. Exhale back to your heart. And inhale and exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then just hold. Stand. Your feet rooted. Your head floating. Your arms pressing into each other. You can close your eyes if it feels right. And feel yourself in space. Feel your breath. Feel your feet. Feel the midline of your body. The breath pulsing up and down the midline of your body. And release. Okay, let's do our standing poses. Warrior 1, Bhadrasana. Warrior 2, excuse me. Bhadrasana 2. So legs wide. Right toes out. Left toes a little bit in. And draw the arms, the shoulders up and back. Stretch your arms apart. Exhale the front knee down. Inhale up. Exhale, making sure it doesn't extend past your ankle and that it's not wandering inside or outside. Okay, now let's hold it for 3 breaths, as long as those breaths can be easeful breaths. Feel your feet rooting down, your arches rooting up, while your heart stretching open, your arms stretch open, and feel your breath. Jaw is soft. And then when you're ready, straighten that front knee, bring your feet together, and come back to standing. Take a breath. To the other side, step wide. Left toes to the end of the mat, right toes coming in just a tinch. Let's stretch up to get really tall, and then take the arms out. Pull them into the back of the socket. Stretch your fingers open and straight. Exhale the knee down. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And then we're going to hold it and just count your breaths. Feel the pulsation of your breath. The jaws are soft, eyes are soft. Feet and legs are working like crazy. And when you're ready, turn your legs in and come back in. Okay. And then we'll build on Bhadrasana 1 for Trikonasana, triangle pose. So again, step wide. Something at the end to hang on to possibly. Turn your right toes out, left toes in. Hips are square to the side of your mat. Let's inhale up to get tall, root down and stretch open. Exhale the arms out to get really open. Take your left hand to your hip and start stretching, pulling your left hip back and stretching to the right, both sides long. And then taking your hand to your leg or the chair. And if it feels good, you can bring the left arm up, look down at your foot or up at your hand, and feel the pulsation here. The legs are super strong, but not locked. And the breath opening, expanding and contracting, just bringing life energy to all parts of this triangle. And inhale back up, bring the feet in, come back together. I'll take the chair to the other side if you're using it. And step wide. Let's just take a breath. Roll the shoulders, the neck free. Turn the toes. Left toes turn to the front of the mat. Right toes come in a bit. And let's get tall. Draw the arms out. Oh, sorry. Keeping the legs strong but not locked. Take your right hand back to the waist. Pull your right hip back and stretch both sides of your torso long. You can hold on to the chair or your leg. If you're super flexible, the floor. And then possibly draw the right arm up. And it's like you're in one plane, your whole body, your hips, your legs, your arms. You're rooting through your feet and stretching out through your feet, through your arms, through your head, expanding and contracting. And inhale back up. Bring your legs in. Okay. And let's do our tree pose. So, wall, chair, and first thing is to just settle in to Tadasana, to mountain pose. Feeling your feet, feeling yourself just line up to the midline. Your breath expands and contracts up and down the midline. Then you can root into your right foot, take your left foot to the ankle or the shin. Feel your balance. Experiment. You can inhale the arms out like a tree. Stay in the midline. Let your jaw be soft, your eyes be soft, your feet be strong. And when you're ready, come down. And we'll do the other side. So just shake off that side and line up again. So you can root through your left foot. Feel your breath up and down the midline. Feel the strength of that leg. And take your right heel to the ankle and really, you can really feel the pose here, the whole pose. You want more of a balance challenge. Take your foot up to your ankle. Well, you should do the same on both sides. Don't let your left leg sway out to the side. Experiment with breathing up and down the midline, feeling yourself in space, feeling yourself, your balance, come in and out of balance, and come down when you're ready. Okay. So now we can do Warrior 1, Vera Bhadrasana 1. So you're facing the short end of your mat. You take your right foot forward, your left foot back and at an angle, 2 parallel tracks, hips are forward. So you need to like draw your right hip back and your left hip forward. Then we're gonna inhale, bend the front knee, raise the arms, exhale, straighten. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And now we're going to hold it. So inhale your arms to a position that doesn't crunch your back, and feel your back leg rooting down. Feel your breath. Soften your eyes and your jaw. And only hold the pose for as long as you can have a soft, full breath. It can be a deep breath, but not a hard breath. And then come forward. And let's just stand for a moment again in Tadasana. Bring your hands in front of your heart and feel yourself in space, your feet, your breath, your hands pressing into each other at the midline, your head reaching up. You can even hear the sounds in the room. And release. Okay, so other side. Left foot forward, right foot out and at an angle. Oops, sorry. Mirroring you. So we're gonna inhale, bend and stretch the arms, exhale down. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And hold the next one. So inhale the arms up, or they can be out, wherever feels where you can breathe the best. Stretch through the back foot. Stretch your heart up and feel your breath. Draw your right hip forward and your left hip back. Just feel the pulsation of your breath. Strong legs, open heart, and step forward. Okay. And then we'll use that same leg position for warrior 3. So you can have a wall or a chair for balance. Or you can do, and hold on as needed. So so first we get into warrior 1 stance. Right leg forward and bent, left leg straight and out at an angle. And then we'll just, it helps me to get into the rhythm of it a little bit. So you're gonna inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And the last one, we're gonna push off the back foot. You can leave it on the ground if you want. And stretch open, trying to keep the hips square. Experimenting with the arms. And feeling your breath. Feeling yourself in space. And coming back down. And one more side. So left foot forward, right foot back and at an angle, hips square to the front. Gonna inhale, bend and stretch. Inhale up, exhale down. We're gonna inhale and stretch forward, lift the back hip, the back leg or not, and really put your weight in your left leg. You can experiment with your balance. Arms back like a jet, out like an airplane, or like Superman or woman, and back. Okay. Let's do a little Cobra Pose, a little heart stretch. You can do this seated very nicely or standing. So Tadasana, line your feet up, line your knees and hips up, root through your four corners of your feet, lift the arches, lift your heart. It's easy to like stick your ribs out in this and think but you really want your ribs and your hips like right underneath you. And then take your hands to your hips, draw the elbows back to stretch the heart space open, and use the strength of your legs to just stretch open and feel your breath like a big cobra in the sun. And then if you can root through your feet and experiment with drawing an arm up, stretching open, trying not to stick the hips and the ribs out. And back up. And then we'll do the other arm. So inhale up, draw the elbows back. Rooting through the feet is so important here. Rooting, your legs are super strong. Heart is open, draw the elbows back. Inhale, the left arm up. Root through your feet and stretch open through your heart so much that you may start to arch back. Don't crank your neck back. Feel your breath. Really rooting so you can stretch open. And inhale back. Okay. So you can do that pose again, standing or seated. Or if you want to go to the mat, we'll do a variation. We'll do the Salabasana pose, Locust pose. So getting onto your mat, we're going to get down onto the belly. And lengthen your, take a nice breath and get tall. Draw your shoulders up and back. Neck is an extension of your spine. And then we're going to inhale, chest and arms off the floor. And if it doesn't crunch your back, you can lift the legs up and breathe. Feel the pulsation of your breath here against the effort. And release. You can make a pillow for your head. Take your hips back and forth. And then you can do that again, or you try a variation on that. So you get really nice and tall, shoulders come up and then slide down the back. Your feet are on the ground with the toes extended, the top of your foot going into the floor. And then we're gonna inhale, head and shoulders up, and then draw your right arm forward and your left leg back. And it can go, you could have it out like in cactus pose or forward, but you want no pain, no crunching. And when you're ready, come back down. Take your hips back and forth, release your back. And then we need to do the other side. So we're gonna take a nice breath, draw the shoulders up and onto the back. Stretch your torso long, lift off. And then draw the left arm forward and the right leg up and breathe. Or you can take your arm. No, it's challenging, but you don't want any pain. And come back Make a pillow for your head. Take your hips side to side. And if you're standing, you can do down dog to stretch out your back. And if you're on the floor, you can press back into child's pose with your knees together. I'm sorry, your toes together, knees apart. Just stretch and breathe into your back. Nice, juicy breaths expanding and contracting. And inhale back up. And it's already time for Savasana. Final resting pose. Oh, well, not quite. Sorry. We're going to go onto your back, roll onto your back. If you're on the floor, if you're in the chair, get a good seat. We're going to do a little hip stretch before Savasana. So, very important whether you're on the floor or in the chair to have your knees coming straight from your hips and your toes lined up with your hips, so your legs aren't out to the side or one leg tracking in or the other leg. Knees are parallel. And then let's draw the right. Take your hands over your right knee and just draw it in on the exhale. Inhale, open. Exhale, draw it in. And release that side. Sit up tall or lie tall. And hands around the left knee. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, back. If you're in the chair, make sure you're sitting up tall. Release. Take a breath, line up, and then draw your right knee in, cross your ankle over the top of your left thigh or the shin or the knee, depending on, you want no strain in your knee and just a nice stretch in the hip. And you can take hold of that foot and stretch your toes open, your right toes open to protect your knee. This is a good stretch. If you're on the floor, you can interlace your fingers underneath your left thigh and draw that thigh towards you while you stretch your right knee away from you. Or in either position, you can take that foreleg and foot and just explore your hip joint. Just rolling it around. If you find a good place to stretch, make sure your toes are active to protect your knee. Your face is still open, your breath is still open, but you might be breathing into a pretty strong joint. No pain though. And release that side. Take a breath. You can just notice side to side how your legs feel, your hips feel. And then draw in the left knee and cross the left ankle or shin or knee over your right thigh. Draw back the toes on your left foot, separate them. And if you're on the floor, you can interlace your fingers underneath the right thigh and draw it towards you while you stretch your left knee away from you. And on the seated, stretch open here, or either way, you can draw, if you're on the floor or in the chair, you can draw that foot and knee towards you and just explore your hip joint. might find a place to hold it, to just breathe into it. Just direct your breath into the tightest part of this stretch. No pain, back off if there's any pain, but just breathe into the stretch. And release. And now we can prepare for Savasana. So find your comfortable spot in a chair, on a sofa, or on a mat. Little cushion for the head, not a big cushion. So your chin is nice and not too forward or too far back. And a little something under your knees or legs up on something. Get really comfortable. You might want something to stay warm with, a blanket. Just make sure everything is really comfortable so you do not have to move. And then release into the earth. And the final release, you can take a big in-breath, open your mouth, exhale out of your mouth. One more. Letting go of any residual tension. Feeling your mouth soft. Tongue soft in your mouth. Jaw released. The ears, just noticing the layers of sound, feeling them with your body. Your eyes released. The areas around your eyes released. Brows smooth. Feel your nose, breath. The temperature of the air. The pulsation of your breath. And your sense of touch, your skin. The textures of the different surfaces and clothing on your skin. The air. And then just feel the gentle pulsation of your breath. No effort. Very subtle breath. Gently expanding and contracting throughout your whole body. Happens all the time. We don't have to think about it. Now just appreciate this pulsation. Like a ripple in the water. Your body changing shape subtly with your breath. Releasing. Now start to deepen your breath. Gently. Wiggle your fingers and toes, bringing back sensation. Then stretch. You're on your back, bend your knees and roll to your side. Take a breath on your side. And with the head being the last thing to come up, push your hands and arms up to a seated position. Find a comfortable seat. And close your eyes and feel your breath. Feel that gentle pulsation, that gentle life force, gentle and strong life force pulsing through you. Feel the results of your practice of yoga. And draw your hands in front of your heart. We'll end with the sound of Om. Inhale. Om. Namaste. Namaste.